That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to yet another edition of the Dads, not always on wrestling. And as you could tell by Jeff's reaction, he was not expecting that.
No.
Christmas is coming, folks. It is right around the corner.
Right around that
And
corner, baby.
What better way to kick off the show than with that little blippet of the Muppets?
Yes.
We're here to discuss our top 10 favorite Christmas films, obviously. You can see Jeff's Don't Stop Believing shirt. Never Stop Believing in Santa. I got the official mistletoe tester. We had the Muppets telling you that Christmas is coming. There's a tree right there. I'm kind of like in the middle of. Jeff's in the middle of the fireplace.
Fat of the fire as always for good old JM, you know.
Top 10 Christmas movies. As I said on the Disney one, the last few shows have been probably the most subjective shows that I think we've ever done. Hashtag subjective. We had horror movies, Disney movies, and now Christmas movies. You can't find three more diverse topics to have arguments over as far as what the greatest are. And as always, subjectiveness. We're not saying these are the 10 best, the 10 greatest of all time. These are our 10 favorites, the ones that we must watch every holiday season.
That's right.
As this is a non-wrestling topic, I'm going to send it over to the West Coast professor, Jeff Emmer Effin Meacham. I don't want to get on the naughty list for Santa Claus. Take it away, Jeff. What are your top 10 Christmas films?
As we know, Santa Claus helped me regain the Wrestling Trivia Championship, so he's on my good side. So there you go. It's all good stuff. All right, so as Jay said, it's subjective. It is what it is, kids. So if you disagree with something I say, by all means, throw a comment up. JJ will respond to it. So, just saying.
Because Jeff is too wrapped up building an empire.
That's it.
To respond to your guys' comments.
And
I work 5 days a week, 40 hours a week at Wally World.
That's right.
I've got time to throw a comment or two back in there.
That's right, because he gets a 15 every couple hours. So there you go. So
during the holiday season.
During the holidays,
and so I have more time to respond than this man does.
Well, yeah, remember, being Santa's helper is a full-time job also. You got to keep that in mind also. And I'm on the air, and you can't do this right now because I'm literally recording an episode right now. Because I don't have it set up right now, Dylan. You can't. Come on, buddy. What's up? Hi. Okay. Where should we edit that? This is the bad part about distance learning.
Yeah, it happens.
Okay. All right, sorry. As you said, it's subjective. As the dream would have said, it is what it is, kids. You know, we just do our thing. If you disagree with something I say, by all means, throw a comment up in the little area underneath there. JJ will respond to it. I guarantee you will. So
yeah, I mean, he's got an empire to run, so he doesn't have the time to respond to you, the fans that follow him on Anchor, on Spotify, on YouTube, on all the other platforms.
That's right. You no time for that shit.
But, I work 5 days a week, 40 hours a week at Wally World in the middle of the holiday season. I've got plenty of time to respond to you.
He does. He gets those gracious 15s every couple hours, and that long hour, he's on the ball, man. He is on that because he loves you people so much and respects the Jeff. I'm full of crap. Whatever. I'll respond to. It's Christmas. Whatever. I'll be nice. All right.
The hilarious part about that is that usually during my hour lunches, I'm watching some kind of wrestling pay-per-view, getting ready for our wrestling topic.
I know. And meanwhile, I just go off memory at this point because I've watched these darn things so many times. It's like, yep, I got it. Shoot, the freaking Survivor Series thing 2 weeks ago, a few weeks ago, and the Starcade thing. That was all like just bam. I remember that. I barely had to watch it. I had to watch a couple things because Starcade goes way back. So, anyway, number 10 also goes way back. Number 10 is a collection. I did not narrow it down to just one of the choices. And I cheated, and I don't care. It's my show.
It's all right. I just remember you giving me grief about the Disney thing, so I got to give you a little grief here.
What did I give you grief for the Disney thing, the group, exactly?
It wasn't on the air, but you gave it to me privately.
I did?
Yes.
Hold on, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. It's Christmas, so you get an apology this time. Number 10 is the group of the Rankin Bass movies. And if you've seen anybody on this screen, you know that these movies rule. They are the stuff of our CBS childhoods. It's like, come Thanksgiving, post Thanksgiving, at least once every weekend, you're getting one of these guys: Frosty, Rudolph, Kris Kringle, Mr. Magoo's Christmas Carol, the Little Drummer Boy. Any of them, they're all going to be up there, and they're all great in their own way. I love them all. Yes, even Cricket of the Hearth. I actually like that one, believe it or not. But
it's a cute story, but it's not on my favorite.
But when you get that big DVD set for Christmas, they're all there anyway, so it's all good.
But they're not all there.
They're not all there. Well, it depends which version of the thing you have, because they've put out about 25 versions of that thing. So keep that in mind.
I have the classic gray fold out.
Me too.
That came with the bonus CD.
Oh yeah.
That did not have Frosty's Winter Wonderland or 'Twas the Night Before Christmas.
Nor has any of them really had it that I've seen, as far as Frosty goes, which is a crime.
That is the ginger redheaded stepchild of the Rankin Bass set.
It really is, which is ridiculous.
Is sad because they're two of my favorites.
And honestly,
get rid of Mr. Magoo, get rid of Cricket in the Hearth.
Yeah,
those two.
Yeah, Frosty's Winter Wonderland is the definitive sequel, and you never see that anymore, ever. So, make it hat Rankin Bass. But anyway, as a group, growing up, we all saw them. Growing up, our parents saw them. Our children will see them. Our children's children will see them. Because they'll be able to freaking plug a thing into their temple and be part of the movie by the time their kids are grown up. So
Demolition Man.
It's right for real. So, but they will endure. Because, damn it, CBS owns everything. So,
the Rankin Bass movies are they're iconic.
They are.
It is not Christmas until you watch Santa Claus be a raging prick to Rudolph for 95% of the hour, and then redeem himself 5 minutes left when he realizes that he needs Rudolph.
That's it. Yeah, I have never disliked Santa more than I have in that movie. It's like, jeez, man. I gotta be a dick.
Between the Rankin Bass special and Bill Goldberg's turn as Santa and Santa's sleigh, those are the two only times I can think of that you really dislike Santa. And Santa's sleigh is an honorable mention of mine, by the way.
Jay, it's Christmas.
It is.
And he had to bring up the Jew boy, didn't you? He had to bring up freaking Goldberg. Had to bring up Goldberg on my... whatever.
I could either bring up Goldberg in Santa's sleigh as an honorable mention.
Okay.
Or I can bring up Sid jumping off the top rope, breaking his leg again. It's your choice.
I enjoy that more, so do that next time.
All right, well, I just got both of them, so
For the record, about a month ago, even longer than that, when our boy Dak Prescott of the Cowboys got his leg all bustercated, Dylan was saying how bad the injury was. I'm like, hold my beer. I showed him the video. Why I did, I don't know. I turned the video on, Jay, and I pushed play, and I was immediately having regrets. I don't know why I did it to myself, but I did. I'm like, this is why we bring it up, because it's horrible. It's horrible. I feel so bad for Sid on so many. Anyway, wow. God, creepy. Number 9 is kind of plays into what's coming up for you next month. It's a very Tom Hanks heavy Christmas movie. I think he plays every part in the movie, as a matter of fact, or close to it. But it's beautiful, and I never saw it till recently, and I didn't appreciate how awesome it was until recently. But it is a beautiful animated story. It's a classic story. It's a story of a kid that has lost the belief, and with a little help from Josh Groban in the background singing "Believe," he gets it back. Polar Express, good lord. Is this not just a again, like you said at the top, these are must sees. You got to see this one. If you've never seen this one, find a way. See this in the next 7 days. I'm telling you right now, it is it's one of those masterpiece labels I very rarely throw around outside of Disney, but this is damn good.
It's definitely a visually stunning film.
Yes.
There are parts in it where I'm just like, it didn't quite make my list.
Okay.
But that song, man,
Yeah.
that song just gets in your heart.
Yes.
And I find it funny to say it like this because, like, I love Josh Groban's voice.
Right.
I was actually talking about this the other day with my roommate. I love Josh Groban's voice, but I can't sit there and listen to him for like a full CD.
Right. Thank
Just
you.
don't get into him.
No.
You Raise Me Up, which was his first big break and arguably his biggest hit.
Yes.
Love. Believe. Love. His version of Evermore from the Beauty and the Beast soundtrack. Love. Prefer the film version by Dan Stevens, but love his version of that as well.
Yes.
And the version he does of Pure Imagination with Lindsey Sterling and the Muppets in the music video, love. That's about it.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. My mother, God love her, she will put on Josh and just play it, and I go, "This is like we're in the car. Can we get some peppy here? Can we, can we liven it up a little bit?" But the guy can sing a phone book for real. He's just amazing. So what are you gonna do?
Yeah. But that song just,
Yeah.
it makes my Christmas CDs every year.
Oh yeah. Yep. CDs. You're so cute and you're antiquated. Oh,
You know what? I still put CDs in my car.
I know you do.
You know, it's just easier for me sometimes.
It is. It really is. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I've been able. I was gifted a Echo Dot when my dad got his Sirius subscription in his car, and I love that thing to pieces, man. I can be across my room. Hey, person, I can't say the name because I'll activate her. Play whatever, and it's a great. And I've been doing that all December. I've been playing the Christmases nonstop, man. It's been beautiful. Actually, not even since Black Friday, I've been doing it. So anyway, number 8. I don't like to admit, but I like it. I don't like to admit that I like it because I'm not a fan of most of his stuff post SNL. But this movie's just too damn cute. And I hate that it's cute because that makes him cute and it sucks. And you'll appreciate this more than anybody because of where you work now. I only ever saw this movie the whole way through in pieces on my break at Wally World over the course of my one winter I had there. By the time the winter was over in 2016, I had seen this movie the whole way through and knew it back and forth. Elf. Ugh. Again, not a fan of Will Ferrell.
Me neither.
But I love this damn movie. And I don't want to, but it's great.
I think you love this movie, and I may be going out on a limb here. But I think you love this movie because his performance as Buddy Elf is the way we are.
Yeah, exactly.
We get that happy,
yes,
excited when it comes around the holiday season.
I agree.
Christmas for me is November 1st through December 31st.
Yes. Well,
and there's a lot of people that argue me on that, and that's fine. Again, subjective.
Yes.
Take nothing away from Thanksgiving. But the Christmas holiday season is from November 1st through December 31st, my opinion. And the way Will Ferrell as Buddy Elf acts when he's jumping up and down, Santa's coming, Santa's coming. That is the way I am in my little heart once Halloween ends
Yep.
and the clock strikes midnight on November 1st.
That's it. Yeah, I mean it's funny. I did my little Disney show double feature on the 30th, and then Halloween was what it was. We ain't COVID kids, but Sunday morning, Christmas tree was lit up, Christmas music was on, and I'm Buddy the Elf for real. I just am. It's it's crazy, but I again, yeah, I'm very much like Buddy. I love Santa. Like, dude, how often did you go with me to the parks? I was more excited to see Santa than the mouse. Like, for real. Like, I am. I love Santa Claus. So all right.
The only time of year where we could actually get you to not have to go see the mouse because we'd go see Santa instead.
Instead, but not. We still would go see Mickey though. So, yeah. Number, where are we at here? 7 is a movie I promised you all would come up later, as we did a show earlier this year on our superhero, or no, sequels, our sequel show. I promised it would be here. I deliver on my promises.
Yep.
Batman Returns. And I picked this shot. Yes, there's no Batman. There's no Catwoman. There's no Penguin. There's no Max Shrek. That's just Gotham Square, baby, and it looks gorgeous.
Yep.
It's very Tim Burton. I'm not gonna lie, but Tim Burton. This is a Tim Burton movie. But this is the only time that you can say there's a definitive time of year, time and place where one of these things takes place. I think there's a few along the line that kind of had a kind of sort of okay, maybe take place here. Batman Returns is a friggin' Christmas movie. I don't give a shit. Christmas movie. The last line that Michael Keaton speaks is "Merry Christmas to all." God bless, goodwill toward men and women. So there you go. It's a whole Tiny Tim line. So, which I'm sure you'll get to later. As we both will. But it's my favorite Batman movie, and I've had a long time dancing around that. You know that. I go back and forth all the time on Batman movies.
Mm-hmm.
But this is my favorite, and it's probably because it's Christmas, honestly.
Probably. That would make sense knowing you.
Number 6 is a movie that, believe it or not, I think I mentioned this to you earlier this year. I saw this for the first time all the way through in the classic black and white because Disney bought Fox, and I was able to get a hold of it. They're on 34th Street. With all due respect to Richard Attenborough and Mara Wilson, this is my miracle. I'm sorry, but it is. Up until the Santa Claus came out later, which we'll get to, it is the definitive Santa story. Period.
Agreed.
It's just amazing, and it's simple, and there's no other way to say it. Like the resolution is what it is. If we can believe in this, why can't we believe in that? If our government recognizes him as such, why is he not so? And at a time where our government is crazy right now, let's be real, if the U.S. government in the 1940s recognizes this person as Santa Claus, why are we in this courtroom? Why is this happening? He is Santa. Period. And damn it, he is. Defy you to argue with me on that. It's beautiful. All right, I'm gonna move along. We're going babbling here. All right, 5, right? Yeah, 5. Another one I discovered in my adult years, more so than when I was a kid, because of a relationship I was in at the time. But I never had a Nightmare Before Christmas as a kid, growing up, because I was 10 when it came out. And but I just the animation, the technology, the stop motion, it's just amazing what they pulled off in 1993. The story is wonderful, and just it's amazing. Just I love Jack's lament about, you know, he feels he's done all he can as the Pumpkin King, and what is there more for him to do? And oh wait, there's this Christmas thing. What is this? What's this? What's this? And just it plays off so well. Oogie Boogie's a great villain. Lock, Shock, and Barrel are grossly understated in my opinion, including Paul Rubens, who was awesome in this. One of his first roles after his self-imposed exile from Pee Wee. And Santa's in it. And, you know, it's great. It's a great story of, you know, stay in your lane, but it's told very well. I love it, and I love the music. And I've definitely grown to appreciate it more and more as I've gotten older. And I hope to God that next year the Yell Cap is open and we can see it, because I still haven't seen it to this day, and it bugs. Because I know you have, and I really, really want to see it there, because that would be like the ultimate. Okay, I saw Nightmare at the Yell Cap with all the doozles and moozads. I'm good. I'm loving it. All right, where are we at here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 4. Wow, 4 already? I guess so. 4 is the only time you're going to see a version of this story, which surprises me because I do love this story overall. The Muppet Christmas Carol. Didn't discover it with you, but definitely love it more because of watching it with you and yours. Again, not everybody in my house likes the Muppets. I always have. I love the Muppets to pieces, but their Christmas Carol is just funnier than hell, but it's also very dramatic. Michael Caine has a hell of an arc. Huh?
It's very dark.
It's very dark.
For a Muppet movie.
Like for a Disney-produced Muppet movie, it's dark. Like you wouldn't think it would go. It does. It's very, very dark. Like I said, Michael Caine's arc is fabulous. I do enjoy having Gonzo as Dickens and Rizzo take us as our guides. It's kind of funny. Kermit as Bob Cratchit is great. Piggy as Mrs. Cratchit is Miss Piggy. But like everybody's got a role. They managed to weave all the major Muppets into this, which is really cool. Yeah. I enjoyed that a lot.
I really, really don't think Piggy. I can't believe I'm actually going to be talking about her like an actress here for a minute when she's a Muppet, but I don't think Piggy gets the credit she deserves as Emily Cratchit, because compared to most Piggy performances, she is very much downplayed.
Right?
She is not the over-the-top diva that you see her as in virtually every single other Muppet production. And I think that's because of them trying to do justice to the source material.
Yes, agreed.
I really enjoyed that.
Yeah.
Muppet Christmas Carol did not show up on my list. I do have another Muppet show.
Yes, you do.
Muppet Christmas Carol is not on my list. But I do feel I have to mention the story since you have it on yours.
Okay.
I went, it had to have been a year ago now, maybe 2 years ago. The Fox Theater here in Pomona had a free showing of Muppet Christmas Carol. It was put on by a church function, and just go and concessions raised funny for the church. It was just trying to get the name out there. So I went. You know, it's the Muppets.
Of course.
Free showing, Muppets, I'm there.
Absolutely.
I don't believe in ghosts or spirits. Let me just get that out there.
Okay.
They're doing the opening credits. And everyone's sitting in the balcony. There's no floor seating. So everyone is in the balcony. Let me just paint that image.
Okay.
The credits are rolling, and it gets to the part where it's dedicated to Jim and Richard.
Man. Oh man.
Okay. Who, amongst their other many roles, Statler and Waldorf,
Right.
were in the balcony.
Uh-huh.
There were two random bursts, like cold bursts of air
Whoa.
that hit right at that moment. And it almost made me wonder if their spirits, so to speak,
Whoa.
Statler and Waldorf, were joining us in the balcony for this movie.
That's crazy. Wow. Wow.
Like I said, I don't believe in ghosts, never have, never will.
Right.
But that moment made me think. After all, it is a ghost story.
Very much so. Very much so.
And
Well,
there were no other cold bursts the whole rest of the movie.
right.
We hit at that moment.
That's crazy.
Continue.
Well, from ghosts, we go to angels. And when you talk
In the
about
outfield?
no, although honorable mention in general because I love that damn movie. Just the first one, for what it's worth. That should not be a franchise. Just saying. Number 3 is a story about a guy who is just he's done. He's ready to check out. He's over everything. He's just over it. And the powers that be send down a young man who's trying to earn his wings to guide Jimmy Stewart, through the doldrums and make him realize that life's a lot better with him on this physical plane. And of course, I'm talking about It's a Wonderful Life, because is there more a Christmas movie than It's a Wonderful Life? I don't think so. I really don't. It's number 3 on my list because exactly. So
is there more a Christmas movie than It's a Wonderful Life? Apparently so, because there's 2 others on your list.
On my list, yes, but that's only because I also saw It's a Wonderful Life much, much later in life than I saw my other choices. So
As did I.
Hasn't quite permeated into my brain like I probably should, honestly. But yeah, it's again. There's a lot of dark. There's a lot of heavy stuff in this for a classic movie. I mean, Jimmy Stewart's in his prime here, so it's at least years ago. It's way the hell back there. But it's timeless. They show it every year, and it never gets old. It used to be they showed it once a year on NBC without fail. Now it's like once a week come November 1st.
No, that's not true.
I see it quite a bit, more than I used to. So,
but not as much as it used to be.
No,
and
definitely.
I'll get into that when I get into it on my list, because
very good. Very good. Yeah, but I do love this movie. It's a great story. It's one of those that you're almost unsure if you should cry because it's. But it really does tug you in the feels at the end. It's a beautiful ending for sure. All right, I'm gonna massively cheat now, so forgive me in advance. My number 2 is a pair of movies. If you ask most movie critics, movie experts, it's the same movie twice, just different settings and slightly different tweaks on the story. I love them both for different reasons. Home Alone 2, Lost in New York. I've grown to love Home Alone 2 more as I've gone on in my life. I love the supporting cast in both, but Home Alone 2 is a little more padded. You have the great Tim Curry. You have Rob Schneider. You've got... I always forget the damn woman's name who was in Addams Family, the one that plays Margaret. But anyway, she's in that. The Bird Lady, of course, who was in Angel in the Outfield, as we mentioned earlier. I think 2 has a more heartwarming story than the first one does, for sure. But 1 also really, it really isn't it really doesn't get me in the gut until the mom walks in the door and Kevin sees her, and they have that stare moment. They have that moment, and Kevin gives her a look like, "You left me. You left me here." Like that solemn face, and she just, "Oh, honey, I'm so sorry." And he just runs to her and melts, and I melt. It's like, oh, okay, that's it. I can't. Damn it. The only reason I dislike the ending of 1 more is because it's like, oh, jeez, because Buzz happens upon his room and the destruction, and that's how we end it. It's like, eh. 2 ends the same way as far as the dad having the spaz over the credit card bill, but that's coming. So like the first one, but I do love them both very much. All right, numero uno is a 3-part saga. Now, you and I have gone back and forth many times over the years that 2 is weak sauce compared to 3 and 1. I won't disagree with you at all. Not one bit. But I do love 2 as well because I am, I dare say, and this may be bold in front of you. I think I'm the biggest Santa Mark I know, and I firmly believe that I am. And these movies are why for a good chunk of it. The Santa Claus 2, and Santa Claus 3: The Escape Clause. For many years after I was enlightened on the reality of things, I have told kids I educate, I've told kids I babysit, I've told my kid, well, how has Santa lived so long? Who says he did? He retired and the next guy stepped in. Well, how do you know that happened? Look what happened to poor Scott Calvin. He happened into a situation, but it's not the best thing that ever happened to him. I love the Santa origin thing. I think it's great, and I love the twist in part 3 with Martin Short. And let me just sing the praises of Martin Short for the next 20 years, because damn it, does he not save that damn franchise from the doldrums of 2. I'm not dogging on the missus or, Charlie or whatever, but Martin Short coming in and trying to steal the thunder just makes it, man. And what's great is...
it was on my sequels list.
That's right. What's great is Martin Short, honestly, he's evil. Like, Jack Frost is an evil jerk who's got, hidden agendas, ulterior motives, right up until the very, very end. Like, you don't think he's going to get any sort of redemption or anything, and it's like, wait, it's Disney. It has to happen. And God bless Lucy and those hugs. And I appreciate the cameo of Alex in October. If you want to get Lucy on, soon, that'd be tremendous, because I can use a Lucy warm hug right about now. Just saying, dirty old man, don't care. But yeah, they are beautiful movies. I love all 3 of them. They're so Disney, right? And Tim Allen was my favorite comedic actor of the '90s. I love Home Improvement. I love Last Man Standing. I'm in the rare category that loves Last Man Standing. A lot of people don't like that show. I do. And I love Tim Allen and most everything he does. I've met Tim Allen. He's a wonderful guy, at least to me. I've heard stories, but he's always nice to me and mine. So I love the Santa Claus movies, and they are my favorite Christmas movies ever. Period. End of story.
Fair enough. As we said at the top of the show, the lists are very subjective. There we go.
Sorry.
It's okay. I was waiting for it.
Freaking Kirsch's a little slow on the uptick today.
But solid list.
Thank you,
we
sir.
Definitely, we could conjoin and share a few there. But there's also quite a few that I feel like he left off.
Yes, for sure.
And we're going to start getting into those right now.
All right.
My list. Number 10 on my list is the most recent one. And I didn't really know what to think of this film when I first heard about it. And I'd seen a few of the trailers, and I was like, it sounds interesting, but what are they going to do here?
Right.
2017's The Man Who Invented Christmas. What a movie. Like, it totally knocked me on my butt. Right. The story of, supposedly, the story of how Charles Dickens came up with A Christmas Carol. From everything that I've heard and read, Charles Dickens was quite the eccentric, to the point where he would create characters for his stories in his head based off of people that he encountered, and he would interact with them to get that sense of realism in his stories. So watching the inspiration for and how he comes up with the name of Scrooge and the conversations that he has with Scrooge and just all the little things that start to formulate the basis of the mythos of what we know as A Christmas Carol. So much so to the very end, and not much of a spoiler because it doesn't have to do with the Christmas Carol side of things, but the very end, we see him in a restaurant talking with, I believe it's his manager, his publisher, who just got Christmas Carol published. Mm-hmm. And the waiter of the restaurant is David Copperfield.
Yep.
Which sets up what could have been a sequel to spiral off how he came up with that film. So there's all other little things, kind of Easter eggs planted around the story.
Oh, yeah.
Dan Stevens, the same man who put on that heavy makeup to portray the Beast in the live action Beauty and the Beast, portrays Dickens here. Just a great movie, and I highly recommend, if you've never seen it, that you try to Redbox it, see if it's on Netflix. However you can get a hold of it, give this film a chance because it was really, really good.
Yes.
Number 9 on my list. I mentioned I had The Muppets. Some may be shocked that it's so low, knowing my love of The Muppets.
Yes, for sure.
But, Jeff, you've already seen my list, so you can already attest to why it's so low. But I had to get Muppet representation in there somewhere.
Absolutely.
2002's It's a Very Merry Muppet Christmas Movie.
That's a mouthful.
Yeah, very much so.
Yes.
Basically, it's the Muppets version of It's a Wonderful Life.
Yes.
You know, money is due on the theater. Fozzie tries to take the money to the bank to deposit it on Christmas Eve. Shenanigans ensue, including Fozzie getting painted green and mistaken as the Grinch at one point. The Christmas pop culture references in this movie are enough to make anybody watch this, even if you're not a Muppets fan.
Right.
Because they touch on so many Christmas pop culture references. But Fozzie gets mistaken for the Grinch at one point, loses the money at a Salvation Army Santa, makes it to the bank with a bag full of laundry instead of money because of the switch up. And the Muppets are going to lose the theater. Muppets going to lose theater. We need to do a show to save. This is 2002, not 2011, right?
There's a
I
movie
said
there somewhere.
2002.
Anyway, yeah.
Sounds like this would be the basis of a theatrical Muppet film 9 years later,
Yeah,
but I digress.
Yeah.
So the Muppets are on the verge of losing the theater. Kermit wonders what life would have been like if he had never been born. And for Kermit to ponder this, the ever optimist, just shows how dark this Muppet movie goes.
Yes.
If you thought Muppet Christmas Carol had got dark, this one has almost the same level of darkness, and it's centered around Kermit,
Yes.
ready to end his life and freeze to death on a bench because of what he's put his friends through.
Mm.
But alas, much like It's a Wonderful Life, it takes an angel, played by former WCW champion David Arquette,
Go watch his documentary. Telling you, it's good
to
stuff.
come down and show Kermit what his friend's life would have been like if he had never been born. And it's a wake-up call for him.
Of course.
Fozzie's a pickpocket. The Electric Mayhem are a river dance band. Scooter's a go-go dancer. Beaker's a roided-out bouncer. Robin is getting all kinds of mistreated by our lovely villain, Joan Cusack, a.k.a. Jessie, the yodeling cowgirl. Miss Piggy is a telephone performance artist doing psychic readings. And Gonzo is just in a mall trying to gather little crowds to do his shenanigans with. Like, it is abysmal. And the highlight honestly comes when Kermit realizes what effect he's had on his friends and turns Gonzo's song of negativity into a song of hope and positivity. That the colors start to become vibrant again. And Kermit realizes exactly the influence he had, and that the world would not be better if he didn't exist. Just a great retelling in a way that only the Muppets could do.
Indeed.
Number 8. Made-for-TV movie. Not the first. Well, it's the first one. No, it's not the first one that's on my list because Muppet Christmas Movie was too, and it won't be the last one on my list. From 1988, A Very Brady Christmas,
Hell yeah.
featuring 8 of the 9 original actors that played the Brady clan, with only Susan Olsen being absent and Jennifer Runyon, I believe is her last name,
Sir.
taking over the role of little Cindy Brady.
Which, ironically, is a poopy because Cindy Brady, in the first part of this story, is what drives the story.
Yeah.
Because she's the one that asked Santa to get Mommy her voice back in the TV episode. Oh. Sorry.
Which, of course, they revisit during this.
Oh, yes. As they should, damn it. As they should.
You know, that one TV episode, if we were doing just like top 10 Christmas episodes, that would be my number 1.
Oh, for sure. For
And
sure. Jesus.
But we're doing movies, and this one, again, pulls from some pop culture references. Obviously, you've got the Brady family. You've got the husbands and wives from the Brady's Wives spinoff.
Yes.
You've got Alice and Sam making a cameo appearance at the very end. You've got a nod to Miracle on 34th Street. Just an amazing reunion TV movie. And when you think that reunion events like this usually don't deliver, they deliver the nostalgia, but they don't deliver the substance.
Yeah.
I feel like this delivered both. You had nostalgia and substance.
Yep.
And anybody my age I know grew up watching the Brady's
Yep.
in reruns and syndication.
Yes.
I know you have as well.
Oh yes.
This is just a great exclamation point for the end of the Brady saga. I've never seen the movies that came in the 90s, have no desire to.
Right.
For me, this is where the Brady saga ends because if I'm not mistaken, Robert Reed passed away shortly after this.
Well, what happened was how awesome this movie was led to them getting a, for lack of a better term, dramedy called The Brady's. It was a good hybrid of both, mainly drama though, where I can't remember if Mike went into politics or some dramatic thing, and it only lasted a season, maybe two at most. It only made a few episodes, honestly, but it wasn't the Brady Bunch. It wasn't the same thing, so it didn't resonate. I will say this though. The reason this movie spun off that TV show is because, like you said, it hit all the feels, man. You had all the references to the past, including the end where Mike gets rescued and Carol leading them singing, "Oh, come all ye faithful," just like the end of the TV episode. Like, it is, I dare say it's the best TV reunion movie that never went anywhere.
Yeah. I will second that.
And it didn't need to.
No. Because the Brady's already had their Christmas moment with that episode from the first season.
They did. And then to have this...
They didn't have to revisit and do a movie, but they did.
And it worked.
It was perfect.
Yeah. Like I said, this is probably the perfect TV series reunion movie / Christmas movie. And don't worry about the 90s movies. You're not missing nothing.
Which brings me to my number 7.
Oh, yeah, number 7. Sorry about it.
1994 is the Santa Claus.
Yeah, baby. Oh, yeah.
And I picked this moment on
so
purpose
wrong.
because I thought it was just the cutest thing.
Right?
Like, I really wish the little girl that played Judy here had come back for part 2 and 3.
Right, for real.
As far as the elf characters go, Bernard notwithstanding, she was my favorite.
Oh, hell yeah, for sure.
She was just so gosh darn adorable.
Yes.
In that scene. But the Santa Claus, you touched on it. It's just a really great take on the Santa mythos and what happens when one Santa can't perform anymore. Whether he retires or he takes the escape clause or he doesn't meet the Mrs. Claus in time or he just passes like this Santa did.
Yep.
What happens when a Santa can't perform? This was a great take on that part of the mythos to expand the Santa saga and legend, much as you touched on.
Yes, sir.
It generated 2 sequels, which the second one has kind of grown on me here in more recent years. It's still at the bottom
right.
of the 3.
Right.
But you can't knock the scenes where he's courting and the sleigh ride with the snow.
Oh, God. Oh.
And the Christmas party at the school where he makes all the toys just magically appear out of the bag.
Yeah.
Those moments make that sequel.
See,
the rest of it is hot garbage.
Yeah. The parts where he's courting. Yeah. The parts where he's courting and the parts where he's doing the gift thing. Dude, that's some Santa swagger. I love that. That's fantastic. That's like Scott going, "Yep, I'm Santa. Yep, I did that. Yep, I love it. I love
hit that grunt again because that's total.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Okay.
But I mean, the Santa Claus is just a great movie, and I decided to only list the first one here because I'd already given the nod to part 3 when we did the sequels.
Yes.
And part 2, we both stated it is inferior, so it's not going to end up on any lists.
Okay.
So I just went the original here. Number 6, you also touched on earlier, from 1947, the original
Yes.
Miracle on 34th Street.
Now I know this is the picture you chose. The picture you chose did not blow up well. So sorry. But
It's okay.
there you go. Okay.
But the tale of the girl who wants to believe but is told that she shouldn't believe, but she's convinced to believe, only to, on the surface, be let down and have all the reasons proven as to why she shouldn't have believed, only for it to come back and bite her in the butt as they drive home and see her dream house with the cane in the corner. And was it Chris's intention all along to take them that way? Or was it just a happy coincidence? And it was something left over from the previous owners. We shall never know, but we want to believe, there's that word again, that it was from Chris. You know, and he never gives you, the best part of this movie is he never gives you a reason to doubt.
Nope.
From the minute we're introduced to him, looking into the window of the shop, telling the owner that the reindeer are in the wrong position, until we see the cane in the corner, he never gives us a reason not to believe that he isn't who he says he is.
Exactly.
So either he's an excellent con man, or he truly was Santa. You decide. Number 5 is a movie that I don't think gets near the amount of love that it deserves.
Yeah.
Very, very underrated. From 1986, The Christmas Gift. Starring John Denver and just an amazing array of character actors,
Yes.
including the grandpa from Charles in Charge. True story. And Red from That 70s Show.
Oh wow.
The dad plays Jake, the guy that's getting evicted, that the bank is taking the house from.
Wow.
And it's not until John rallies the town together to save Jake's farm that the miracle, the story, the legend of their small town restarts. Because there's a legend within their town of a man who was traveling through a storm, hungry, tired. The patrons traveling were also hungry and tired and only had a small amount of food. But this little boy took just a little bit of food from each wagon to give to the stranger to suffice him and continue him on his journey. And the next morning when they awoke, there were toys and gifts and blankets and food. And the stranger was Santa. So the legend was that this would give the town would prosper for 100 years until another miracle occurred to start the next 100. And then rallying together to save this guy's farm was the start of that next 100 years, the continuation of the legend.
There you go.
Just a great story.
Absolutely.
As a man who was raised on John Denver, thanks to my mom, This is definitely one movie that I cannot go the holiday season without watching.
Right, right.
And I really feel that people need to get out there and try to find their own copies of this movie. It's not very expensive because it's not a major film.
Right.
Watch this movie and then let me know if you don't think that it's an awesome story.
Absolutely.
Speaking of underrated awesome stories,
Yes.
number 4 from 1984, another made from TV movie that came upon the midnight clear, starring Mickey Rooney as a retired New York detective who lives now with his family and his young grandson and is always promised showing him a New York Christmas. However, he passes away of a heart attack on the eve of their vacation. Goes up to heaven, meets the archangels, including Punky Brewster's adopted father,
There you go.
and upon hearing the fact that he's a former New York detective, they make a deal with him. They give him until Christmas Day to go back down to New York and find an angel that has gone missing. Because apparently, every year, heaven sends angels among us to spread holiday cheer and spirit. But this particular angel gave up because New York is a miserable mess. And it takes Mickey Rooney finding this angel, reminding the angel what his job is to turn Christmas around. And there's a very powerful moment towards the end of the movie where Mickey Rooney gives a speech in front of a news camera talking about the problem with people at Christmas time and how they become so selfish. And the art of giving and spreading cheer has been lost because maybe it's been a hard year on us. Hello, we're living in a pandemic world here, folks. If these words in this speech don't hit even more close to home this year, I don't know what will.
Right.
We're going to put a link to that video in the description of this video so you can check that out.
I'll
But,
go you one better. I'll go you one better. I found the whole thing on YouTube, dude.
okay. Sounds
Whole
good.
movie. It's not the best quality, but it's
Hey,
there.
but we'll at least link the speech part so people
Okay.
can watch that
Very good.
and see what I'm talking about. It is such a powerful speech. And all it takes is a kind word to spread some joy to somebody else. And then they'll spread it, and then they'll spread it until the entire world has the spirit.
There you go.
Number 3 on my list, you had a package deal of it. I'm singling out just the sequel, Part 2, from 1992, Home Alone 2, Lost in New York. And yes, I chose that image on purpose because that is the driving force as to why I picked the sequel over
Absolutely.
the original. Nothing against the original. Love it to pieces. But I feel that part 2 has the upper edge for 2 reasons. Number 1, that relationship, in my opinion, is better than the relationship between Kevin and the next door neighbor in part 1. Even though there's a great moment between them inside the church where Kevin tells him, you've really got nothing to lose by trying to call. Worst that'll happen is they won't take your phone call.
Mm-hmm.
But if they do answer, then you can move forward.
There you go.
But the relationship with Kevin and the Bird Lady, I've always found superior to that relationship. And The other reason I give part two the edge is that in part one, Kevin had home field advantage. He knew the layout of his house. You didn't necessarily know the first time watching it what the booby traps were going to be, but he was at home. He was in the comfort of his own city, his own town, his own house. Part two, he was not. And yes, it was a family member's house that he used to set up the sticky bandits, but it wasn't his house. He had to look at blueprints to figure out point of attack.
Exactly.
Yes, they repeated some gags.
Yes.
But the fact that he did not have the comfort of his city, his town, his home, I think gives the sequel a little bit of an edge. Because while it's always good to win at home, it's even better when you can win when you're away.
Oh, yeah.
Then you add in the supporting cast, like you talked about. Tim Curry, Rob Schneider, Joe Pesci and Daniel Sternbach from the first movie. John Hurd as his father. Catherine O'Hara, the voice of Sally, as his mother. Just a great cast. Number two, in my family's eyes, the definitive version of this often told Christmas story from 1938, A Christmas Carol, with Reginald Owen, Gene and Kathleen Lockhart, real-life husband and wife playing Bob and Emily Cratchit, and the list goes on and on. The Reginald Owen, for starters, is an amazing Scrooge. But he wasn't supposed to play Scrooge. It was supposed to be Lionel Barrymore, who had portrayed Scrooge on radio for many years.
Right.
But Lionel was sick.
Yeah.
So he told the producers, use Reginald. He's a friend. He's a great actor. He will not disappoint. And did he ever shine?
Right.
Then you add in the fact that Gene and Kathleen Lockhart, real-life husband and wife, playing the Cratchits. June Lockhart, their real-life daughter, playing one of the Cratchit kids. Now you've got a whole family affair, which just brings the love of the Cratchit family that much more vibrant. You feel it more through the screen because it's real family portraying those characters. Just a phenomenal take on, like I said, that often told story. I mean, you've got Alistair Sim, who by most people's definition is the definitive.
Right.
You got George C. Scott. You've got Patrick Stewart. You've got Jim Carrey. You've got the Muppets. The list goes on and on. You've got Mickey, for Christ's sake.
Right.
Mickey's Christmas Carol is why I could not watch a true Christmas Carol for years. Because Mickey and Game does it in 25 minutes.
Right.
Why am I going to sit
bullshit.
here for an hour plus for the exact same story that I can get in 25 minutes with characters that I know and love?
That's right. Exactly.
Scrooge McDuck's namesake, for Christ's sake.
Yes. Exactly.
But I digress. If you have to have a live action version, this is my version. Which brings me to number one. Lionel Barrymore's redemption movie, where he plays an even more dastardly character than Ebenezer Scrooge. 1946's It's a Wonderful Life. Donna Reed, Jimmy Stewart, the list goes on and on. I have no words no true words more so than what you already stated earlier when you talked about it, and what I stated briefly when I talked about the Muppets' take on it. This is definitely a film that I got into in later years.
Yes.
When I was young, I could not sit through it.
Yeah.
3 hours on television, nope.
Yeah. No.
And I tried
Yeah.
multiple times. But alas, once I finally watched it, it
Excuse me.
became my all-time favorite.
It's
It
a
is the
masterpiece, man.
definitive Christmas movie.
Absolutely.
What's your definitive Christmas movie? What are your thoughts on our lists? Leave your thoughts in the comment box below. I will respond. Keep in mind our lists have been subjective. By no means are we saying that these are the greatest. These are our 10 favorites. Did we leave something out? I know that there's people that are going to chime in here about A Christmas Story. I can't get into A Christmas Story. I just can't. I've watched it start to finish more than once, and I just cannot get into that movie.
True story. Next Thursday, TBS does their annual,
Of course.
whatever. It will be the first time I'm going to sit down and watch it. Ever.
You're going to have to let me know when we celebrate your 1 year
Yes.
what you thought of it,
I
because
will.
I feel it's severely overrated.
I've heard that by more than one person. So I'm not.
There
I'm
are
trying
some
to.
people within the Casa family,
Mhm.
Double A in particular,
Mhm.
who swear by that movie.
Right. I am trying very hard to go in there with blinders up and just try to, see it
Be subjective.
objectively. Yeah. Be trying to be objective about it, but it's again, my whole thing every year for the commercials is seeing Santa be a dick. It's like, ugh, I'm already turned off. So I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try on Thursday. I'm gonna try. And I encourage all of you on Thursday night or Friday, whenever you celebrate. Ours is Thursday because the boy's going out there yonder for Friday. So wherever you're going to be next Thursday and Friday, cherish where you are, cherish who you are with, and remember that you don't have to be blood to be family. And you don't need to have a crisis of a pandemic to realize how important those people are to you. Just saying.
Definitely.
This has been a crazy year for all of us. It's been a crazy year for me. I mean, the next time I'm on a Friday will be the start of my second year of doing my own thing. And I did my 18 year back in October, and I can't even still process the fact that I'm my own boss finally. I'm doing my own thing. And I've got you back in the fold, and Greg, and Mikey, and everybody's, everything I kind of wanted to happen in that little nugget in the back of my mind 10 years ago, everybody's together.
Mm-hmm.
You, Aaron, Greg, Mikey, we're all, they're all around. I'm either part of them or they're part of me, and it's friggin' beautiful. I liken it to a Christmas miracle that somehow, some way, I've made this work, and it will continue to thrive and grow. And I'm adding your content next year, which we'll get into on the first of the year, and just it's gonna be something where I didn't expect it. I didn't even plan it, but damn it if it hasn't been rewarding. And I just it isn't Thanksgiving show, but I feel the need to express gratitude to all of you out there watching or listening. If you're on Anchor, you're paying me, so thank you. But thank you all for this year. And again, I will get into the mushy gushy stuff, in a couple weeks. But to everybody who celebrates out there, Hanukkah's over, I think, today, if I'm remembering right. So happy Hanukkah if you're celebrating that. Joyful Kwanzaa if you're celebrating that. Merry Christmas if you're celebrating next week. And just remember that at the end of the day, kids, we're all human beings, first and foremost. And, we all need a little Christmas cheer. So, spread the love.
Definitely. And, you touched on something which kind of confused me because I haven't made the announcement yet on your channel.
I know that.
So I will go ahead and do that since you already kind of pre-spoiler alerted it.
Well, no. All I said was you hadn't. I didn't say what it was going to be. I didn't say I was going to let you have the floor on the first. But if you want to take it now, go for it.
I feel like it's a good Christmas present to the family.
All right, fair enough.
Beginning next year, on January 11th, the 10th anniversary of the initial episode of Renegade of Wrestling, I will be relaunching Renegade's Reviews, this time as a video show instead of an audio show, on the old Casa D18 Studios channel. Occasionally, you may see this guy pop up to join me for a review, but I figure everybody at this point knows that I'm not majorly invested in wrestling. That's why we do top 10s like we do.
Indeed.
Instead of talking about the current product.
Right.
Although, if you really want to think about it, you've kind of sucked me into watching some of the current product because I have to watch recent things like the 2019 Survivor Series to do a top 10 on Survivor Series. So you've kind of got me watching some of the newer stuff. You still haven't got me watching Raw and SmackDown. Probably won't ever get me doing that on a weekly basis.
I don't either.
But
I don't.
Movies and music have always been where my true passions have lied. Those two things have never disappeared over the years. And so I figured it would be easier to resurrect Renegade's Reviews and do video movie reviews. Unfortunately, the age that we live in right now doesn't allow for a lot of going to movie theaters and seeing new releases.
Yeah.
So a lot of the movies, at least in the beginning, are going to be classic movies. The month of January, I'm kicking off with arguably the greatest actor to come out of my generation, Tom Hanks. So from January 11th through January 31st will be nothing but Tom Hanks movies. Tackling all the greatest hits and even a few of the forgotten favorites.
Spoiler alert. The episode is going to be on the Championship Network as a League of Their Own with me.
No, that one's not. That wasn't one of what's going on yours. That one was going on my channel.
You fibbled it to me. Oh,
I didn't.
I didn't work on your. Oh, I'm mad now.
We even talked about it on the pre-taped show, so don't give me that.
Okay, fine.
I've already begun canning episodes because with my work schedule, I want to have a bit of a catalog to have once the show starts going live daily.
Oh, yeah. On
the Casa D18 Studios channel.
That's right.
And every other Friday, the Fridays that are not DADS, not always, on wrestling episodes, will be an episode of Renegade's Reviews right here on the Jeff Meacham Network. I believe for the Tom Hanks month, we have Dragnet and Forrest Gump planned for your network.
Oh.
Which is why we did a League of Their Own with you for mine, because we had said we already discussed a League of Their Own on this channel in great lengths when we did our baseball show.
True that. Okay, you're right.
So we discussed it for the episode over on my channel.
Got it.
This time around.
Got it.
See, when you run an empire, you forget stuff like this. It's what my mom calls CRS.
Yeah. Oh yeah, very much so. Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
he's forgiven.
Yeah.
But anyways, that is the big announcement.
There you go.
Renegade's reviews returning to the airwaves on a daily basis, exclusively on the Casa D18 Studios channel, with shows at least twice a month popping up right here on the Jeff Meacham Network as well.
There you go. So, be kind to each other. Wish each other happy holidays, Merry Christmas, whatever you celebrate. And if you're running an empire like me, for the love of God, get some sleep.
In the words of Bill S. Preston, Esquire, be excellent to each other.
Dude. Thank you guys for watching. Merry Christmas. We'll see you next time.
Merry Christmas.